Hi everybody and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be filming a book haul. I haven't done one of these in a really long time because I usually just incorporate the books that I pick up throughout the month in my monthly hauls. However, I did want to film a separate haul for my birthday book haul. Now this is a bit confusing because I did show some books that I got for my birthday in my May haul. However, I got some birthday money for my birthday, and so with that I bought quite a few books. I really just wanted to share them with you guys in a separate video. Now I don't know a massive amount about all of these books, but I know a little bit to tell you enough. I don't always like to know too much about things before going into them, so that's just me. So the first one I have here is In Your Light by Annalee Granger? Yeah. And this has a beautiful cover. It's got these like raindrops which kind of stick out, and they're just really cool. And this is kind of a mystery thriller type of thing, maybe more of just a mystery, about these two sisters, and one sister goes missing. Now from what I can kind of gather from the blurb on the back, I feel like the sister has been missing for a while, and then it's kind of her discovering more about this. I kind of have a theory on what's happened, but I don't really want to say it in case the theory ends up being correct and in case it spoils the book. But to be honest, off the back and the theory that I had, that's kind of the main reason that I picked it up, because I was like, oh, I feel like this is going to be this type of book and this is what's going to happen. So I thought it was interesting, and I did want to see how this plays out. But yeah, I also love the beautiful cover. The next one that I have got is Daughter of the Pirate King. Now this has been out for quite a while, and the sequel is coming out soon, which is Daughter of the Siren Queen, which I found just looked really interesting. And so while I had been interested in this one, I was then super interested in the sequel, so I thought, yeah, I've got to go ahead and grab this. Again, I don't know a massive amount about this, but it just seems fantastic. I believe it's got a really great strong main female character. One of my favourite books is The Girl from Everywhere, and that's set at sea. So I felt like obviously this is going to be, you know, great. It's set at sea. I always love those type of things. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. Oh, and that is by Tricia Levenseller. See, I'm terrible at name pronunciation, so I just kind of don't bother, but then I feel bad. So we'll try our best. The next one I've got is The Girl Who Walked on Air. This and one other. I had basically two more books that I needed to get of Emma Carroll's, and I love Emma Carroll. She's fantastic. She released Letters from the Lighthouse last year, or Letters to the Lighthouse, and that was fantastic. And then the first book that I read of her was Frost Hollow Hall, and that was brilliant. And she writes kind of like middle grade historical fiction, but it is fantastic. She's got a new book coming out in August, which is an Egyptian one, so I just absolutely can't wait for that. And this one obviously is like circus themed, and after watching The Greatest Showman, it just couldn't have been more perfect, so I can't wait to read this. The next one is Dear Martin by Nick Stone, and this is quite a short book, and it's about this boy who writes letters to Martin Luther King Jr. and I'm just trying to look at the back here and find out what I think a lot more goes on, and it is quite a serious book, and it's kind of similar to, but obviously not the same, but kind of similar to The Hate You Give. So it is speaking about, I think that's what it is, because I think there is some kind of, yeah, they're caught in a, maybe that's not it. See, yeah, he's been, okay, maybe it's different to some degree, because I think he gets arrested, and I think it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, I actually don't know, okay, and obviously in The Hate You Give it kind of is maybe, you know, a bit more serious, because I believe, I've not read the book, I do need to get that book and read it. I know everyone loves it, the films, the trailers come out, I believe someone gets shot, which, you know, but I think he gets arrested for, you know, something he didn't do, he wasn't really doing something, and it was just kind of a, you know, an unjust situation. So, you know, it is about that, but he does also write to Martin Luther King Jr., which I also found to be really interesting. I just really, so is it written in letters? Some of it is letters and some of it is just text, and I always enjoy when there's letters in books as well. I feel like I explained this terribly, as with everything else. So there we go, that's Dear Martin. Really looking forward to this one, and again, it is quite a short book too. The next one is The Emergency Zoo. Now this takes place during World War II, and basically it's about what they did with the animals, like in terms of the pets and stuff as well. In the beginning of this book there's a little extract which is basically the leaflet that got sent around during World War II on what to do with your pets. So that was really weird and interesting. I just thought this would be an interesting read. It's about animals, it's set during World War II, I do enjoy historical fiction, so I thought I would find this one interesting. And this is by Miriam Halafmi. I'm just the worst. So yeah, there we go, The Emergency Zoo. This next one I believe is a mystery, and it's Katie Watson and the Painter's Plot. Now the reason I picked this one up is because I believe it's a mystery with time travel, and they go back to a Shakespearean England time. Where does she actually go to? I don't know. That's literally what it says here. Enchanted painting whisks Katie back in time to Shakespeare's England. So that just sold me on it. I was like, yep, I just want to read that. So there we go. That's literally all I know about that one. But that was enough to want me to pick it up. The next one is set during World War I, which is interesting because I've never read a book set during World War I. I've read World War II books. I feel like I've watched more World War II films. I feel like it's just much more of a thing that we in historical fiction, historical movies, absorb more in media. But I don't know a massive amount about World War I. And this is the Goose Road. I think this is about this girl who has a farm. Their family has a farm, and then it's obviously World War I, and she has to try and keep the farm. I actually don't. This is like another Dear Martin blurb. I'm not sure, but either way, I thought it was really interesting that it was set during World War I. It sounds interesting, beautiful cover, interesting plot. I just was like, yes. I was trying to get into my more historical fictions, and again, this is a younger one, so it'll be really quite easier to read and get through, and hopefully it'll be good, and hopefully I'll learn something more about World War I. The next one is one that I have heard so many people talking about all the time, and it is Nevermore. Initially, I wouldn't have necessarily picked this up upon, I don't know, the blurb doesn't really sell me on it massively. It's The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. However, everybody's been really raving about it and saying, you know, it's kind of, you know, the next Harry Potter. I feel like that gets said a lot, but I don't know. And then I became really interested in it. So the blurb itself I wasn't super into, but what I've heard is it's about this girl called Morgan who is kind of unlucky, and she's blamed for a lot, and then she kind of gets whisked away to a magical school. So it does kind of sound a bit similar to other things that I have heard that is fantastic. So I'm just hoping to just jump into this one and really enjoy it. The next one is Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. This, I believe, is a YA contemporary romance, and they go camping and it's set in the wilderness. That was literally all I needed. I was like, yes, camping, wilderness, Starry Eyes. It says Alone in the Wilderness with the boy who broke her heart. I was like, yeah, I could just feel that I'm going to really enjoy this. I don't know, I really like kind of either summer camp vibes or just generally camping, being out in the woods and things like that. I really enjoy those kind of stories, so hopefully I'll love this one. And again, I know only that much, but I can't wait to read it. I do own another book as well by Jen Bennett, so I think that's really, really exciting because I hadn't read that one either, and I didn't even realise it was the same author, and I was like, oh! So yeah, that's Starry Eyes, which I'm hoping to read definitely this summer. The next and final book got a bit damaged in the post when it came, but it is The Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Maria Fowley Doyle. And again, this is actually someone who I didn't realise I owned another book by, because it says here, by the author of The Accident Season. I own The Accident Season. I didn't even realise it was the same author. I love this cover. I believe this is a book about witches, so I just absolutely can't wait to read that. I'm really looking for more books about witches at the moment because I read The Rules of Magic earlier on this year and I completely fell in love with it, which is the sequel, or the prequel I guess, to Practical Magic. And Practical Magic is one of my favourite films ever, so I've wanted to get into more witch stories, and that is what this is. So I was like, yes, and you can see here, maybe, it's all a bit bent. But yeah, hopefully I'll read this in October time. That would just be perfect, or when it gets a bit cooler. But yeah, I can't wait. So those are the books that I purchased with some birthday money that I had, so that is a birthday book haul. But yeah, I know I didn't know too much about them, but as I said, I don't really like to know a massive amount because I love to be surprised. As you guys will know, with the films and everything, I just love to just be surprised. If I feel like I'm going to like the premise, I'm like, yes, I would love to read that. So those are the books that I picked up. So super excited. Let me know if you've read any of them. I feel like there was quite a few nice mix of genres, so that's always exciting. So there'll be something for whenever I'm just really in the mood for whatever. The first one that I think I would read is either going to be In Your Light, Starry Eyes, or Nevermore, or possibly Dear Martin. One of those is the one I think I'll read first, because I haven't read any of these yet, so I do need to get around to going through them. So thumbs up if you enjoyed this book haul. Let me know down in the comments below any books you would recommend, and you know, based on any of these, maybe you have read a book recently that you loved. I would love to hear about it. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!